you have a hug? How you doing?
Thank you.
My hug, brother. Thank you for taking me up on my offer to come back.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So tell me, why did you want to come back?
I got a lot to say. I got things to get off my chest.
Yeah.
I'm 32 now. This has been happening as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
You know, it's overwhelming, and nobody really knows my story.
I know today you
Nobody
want
really
to
knows.
apologize. What is it that you want me to apologize for?
I've always been
My story.
like, as long as I can remember when she fell short, even when I knew she wasn't living right, but I didn't want people in our business. I had her back. My relationship with her is still not easy because every time I allow her back in, like the smallest detail, if she can take it and run with it and destroy me, she'll do it.
Got it.
Like, anybody hit you in your head and things like that? And I was like, yeah, my mom did it for years. It's like, that's where it comes from. So to this day, I have migraines, I have seizures, I take medication for it. I try to keep myself stress-free.
Got it.
How you see relationships and how you see yourself really does stem from home, though, because people you were supposed to love, people that were supposed to love you, they're supposed to give you a safe space to be accepted and loved. When you feel like your base place was never that, you feel like the world is never that. So whether you're like somebody that's unfortunately going to be mistreated in the world because you've been mistreated at home, or you take it upon yourself to become the bully, I think it's good to look in the mirror and be like, or ask yourself why you are the way you are, and not blame anyone but what you accept, because you don't have to accept what you've always accepted. Like, people are so defensive. Nobody wants to feel like a bad person. So I noticed if there's someone that is quite narcissistic, and that could stem from abuse for real, but if somebody that's really narcissistic and refuses to listen to others or show empathy or stretch grace, I don't know.
Everyone, please welcome Tracy to the show.
Hey.
Because she seems like she's been abused or hurt herself. So she seems like she's apathetic to her son's struggles because maybe the person she had her son with, they just clashed, period. And there was no good chemical reaction. And then a lot of times there's no resolve or solution with these types of dynamics. It's like the arguments are just really emotionally driven, and there's no core solution. Like, there's no meeting in the middle. There's always like, they feel this way and I feel this way, and I'm just gonna keep throwing that out there. And there's no solution. And then the details that are usually thrown in the air with these types of arguments or attempts at a solution is just dragging them further away because it's just petty.
She talking about that. Let me talk. Because
Not let me talk, and she's screaming over him.
told those people he didn't want his child with me. All because of her past. They weren't looking at my past, but who I am today.
And I don't think she's ever been able to be heard from people she trusted, because she seems really defensive, and she seems like she just really wants to do the right thing in life, right? Like, as a parent, you don't want to let down your child. You want to feel like you're like emotionally available and raising them correctly and all types of stuff, but maybe the way you love someone is not the way they accept love. So it's like someone could buy you a new pair of shoes for Christmas every year, and it's the newest pair of shoes, and it's like, that's their way of showing they love you, because that's how much time and effort they can put into something. Or maybe they're just uncomfortable with their own feelings, so they just drown in material things. Or like, some people really don't F with material things, so they're really touchy and really talkative with people, and then some people that doesn't translate to you liking them because maybe they have trauma, or maybe yada yada. So you really have to know people's love languages and actually listen when it's time to communicate and not try to talk over one another or be right or better than.
I'm a changed person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a changed person. So, yes,
Why,
and that hurted me.
Why would you?
And she doesn't have anywhere to like release her pain because she's a black woman, right? So in this case, a lot of black women, especially here, it's really like put on display as like the theme for black women. Like they're either dirty and ghetto or angry, and then there's never an explanation or like there's no fair treatment for that type of I guess label. I don't know. She probably doesn't have anywhere to like release that, so she has to let it out where she feels it's safe to do so. So she argues back and forth with maybe her son or I don't know, whoever it is. Because again, nobody wants to be seen as a bad person or like be a bad person for real. I feel like everybody was born with a common goal in mind to be happy and live life properly and feel good, and then stuff happens and then nobody knows what to do really. So
I already have the whole world against me. You know, I'm going through so much. She knows all about it, and I'm gonna rephrase what she just
You know
said.
why he going
Now,
through so much?
hold on, just
He
give me 1
put
second.
himself through that.
I'm not putting myself
Every
through.
woman that he meet, he beats.
a lot of women are afraid of their son deep down because they feel like their son would be like exactly like their father, and some fathers are afraid of their daughter because they're afraid like she would call him out for things that he doesn't want to look at, or like it could go either way or be vice versa. But yeah,
And they lose a lot. Their job, their kids, their house, their everything. And I warned them, that's how his daddy was. He always want to pat in the back on everything that he do, even when he right and he wrong. And when I
yeah, so people be looking for a solution, and when you don't have anybody to turn to or any healthy avenue to take your anger out or anything to do that would be the right thing to do, you turn to God, right? Because you have nothing left. And when you can't find God, you're not seeing God fix or change anything, you take it upon yourself to make your own like justice system. Like you just reject anything that reminds you of your trauma, and that goes for anybody. So some people rebel hard against their own feelings, and other people really use them to like hurt people.
I let him know that he wrong, I'm the victim. I'm the victim.
Came here to get this story out. My mother will literally beat me to the smallest things in the world. This is why we got taken away.
Oh my God. Oh,
I was bruised from head to toe.
Boy, that boy is lying
Bruised
on
from
national
head to
TV.
toe because of this
Why
woman.
did I
And it was
go to
because
jail?
of a bruise.
So
You know, I feel bad because like she's probably been made out to be somebody she's not, or look like somebody she's not for a long time. That's frustrating when you want to be a certain person in the world and you feel like life's tearing you down. So you don't want anything to threaten that. Anything. It doesn't matter. Anything that you love to the end of the earth and back. At some point in life, you tell yourself, I have to choose me or save me first. Because nobody's coming to save you. But that doesn't mean cut off empathy. It means have boundaries and actually heal. And don't push away the chores of your like spiritual health just because you're afraid of the dark. Like,
It was
They
a
put
friend
her
of
back in
mine.
rehab. Listen,
It
2
was a
years,
friend
three,
of mine.
Jeffrey.
3 years ago.
Hey Jeffrey,
It was a
you need
friend
me to
of
help
mine
you? You gotta calm down.
who
so I
was
can get her
going
calm.
to the AA and AA program.
And honestly, if somebody doesn't get to talk or express themselves the way they want to, that's really frustrating and would provoke a reaction that's like not healthy. Same goes for somebody that's just never had an outlet or just feels like no one cares. It would just naturally induce like hatred for anything and everything except what's benefiting you, because
I've been rescuing her since I was a little boy, and I'm still doing it.
You always try to make you look like a king, and you ain't nothing but a queen.
don't. By the way, giving someone life, man or woman, is the greatest gift of all. But if you make their life a living hell just because you feel like you're not gaining back your expectations, that's really unfair to hold over someone's existence or life. Whether you feel that way yourself or not, because a house is not a home. I'll say that. And like, again, like some people, their love language is not material things. Some people, they stress eat. Some people don't have appetite when they're stressed. Some people smoke and some people don't. So it's like a cigarette would work for someone when they're stressed, and the next person goes, this doesn't help me when I'm stressed. You call them ungrateful because you handed them a cigarette. But that's not what they need, you know? You have to compromise. And sometimes you could speak over someone's life unintentionally, who they're gonna be like. I've had videos before, but like, I feel like sometimes you see your kid's report card, it comes back with a C or a D, and you tell them you're a failure, you're not even trying, you're a failure. And then repeatedly telling them stuff like that, it's basically like hitting a dog while they're down. Like, if you've ever seen those social experiments, like with groups of individuals for like maybe like 25 or 50 years, and then they have like maybe 2 autistic kids, and they tell one kid they're autistic, and they never tell another kid that they're autistic. They just don't mention it. I just want to see what their trajectory in life would be like if they don't have a limit on who they are. You would see the difference. You know, you don't water a plant with pudding and mud. You put love and water in it so it can actually grow. Like, and yeah, if you want someone to actually do well or something to actually go well, you actually shift the focus on the good things and the potential, and not the flesh or like what's happening. That's always due to something that just happened, like cause and effect. So
there might have been abuse that you might not have remembered. There might have been abuse from his
or
father,
keep the same
and that's why they
cause
took him out.
and get
But
the
what I'm
same
asking
effect.
you in this moment,
Yeah, history has a funny way of repeating itself, but I think people be having like Stockholm syndrome, well, surrounding love and how they learn love and what they're used to. The unknown is mad scary, so it's like you can have these type of conversations and you would still feel like, oh, I hope that is enough to actually change the situation, because that's why people don't even have those types of conversations, because how deep is the love or problem or whatever, and like you have to meet someone else in the middle, and you can't control someone else. So sometimes if you love something, you let it go. You don't cross boundaries or try to belittle the things and people you love, or like compare it to yourself, or try to like control how they see themselves. You don't punish them for your own problems. Everybody has to deal with their own problems or their own internal issues. And not to say nobody should help anyone, but nobody can save you from your own demise. And that has nothing to do with substances or your relationships or anything. It's just how you think and how you view the world and who you want to be. You have to literally choose that all for yourself. So if you want to be who hurt you, that's on you.